Okay, so today's lesson is on page 9. That's where in the workbook. It's called Algebraic Expressions. And we're going to call it translations. It's when we're changing words into expressions with X's and Y's. So translation will be changing the English language or words, changing words into mathematical letters and numbers that we have been doing algebra, okay? So into math, like X's and Y's. All right? So the first thing that you need to know is a little bit about the language of math. And a lot of you know some words. So for example, when we use the word sum, we mean to add. So it's a plus sign. So this is the word, the English word, and the symbol that we use for math is plus. Now there's other things that mean this plus, right? Like add, sum, the together. Together means to add. How much do I have together? You can use that. Is there anything else we can think of? Total. The total. That's nice. I like that one. So plus, the symbol plus has different words. When we use the word the product, we use the word the product, what are we talking about when we use the word the product? Yes? It's a multiplication sign. Now it doesn't have to be multiplication sign. It could be brackets with brackets. That also means multiplication. A dot means multiplication. So there's different symbols. But when we say the product, or if we say multiplied by, we know we're using the times. Times is also something, times can be multiplied. And as we go through our examples, we're going to see more and more that we can identify. So we have product. How about the quotient? The quotient. Quotient means to divide. And the other last one I can think of is the difference. The difference. And when we talk about the difference, we're talking about subtraction. So minus, to subtract. To subtract. Okay, take a minute to write down everything. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I will just put like a little dot over here. The product, the quotient, and the difference. Those are 4 that you should know for a long time now. And we'll get back to the... So I'm going to put a few examples of the simple ones that we should know that are very straightforward. So the product of 2 and x, I hope never to see 2 times x. I hope never to see this. Okay, that is not acceptable because it looks like double x's. So 2x, now is x2 the same thing? Yes. Do I want it like this? No. I want the coefficient before the variable. Let's look at another one that's fairly easy. The sum of x and 7. So let's try this one. The sum of x and 7. Fairly straightforward. We look at our word sum, which means to add. So the sum of x and 7. Would it change anything if I wrote 7 plus x? No. If you want to, you could. I wouldn't put it wrong. Won't change much. Let's do another one. Pretty simple and straightforward. Let's do the difference of a and 2. The difference of a and 2. So be careful because this is the letter A, not A. And 2, we would write it, the difference of A and 2, we would write A minus 2. So the first thing they mentioned was the A and then the 2. Am I allowed to do 2 minus A?
No.
Why? Because 10 minus 5 is equal to 5, but 5 minus 10 is equal to negative 5. So switching the order will make it wrong. Whereas in plus, 5 plus 2 is 7, and so is 2 plus 5. So in addition, it doesn't matter the order, but it sure does matter with subtraction. So be careful. Whatever it says first, you write first. And let's do one more since we've hit the 4 symbols, the product, the sum, the difference. And we'll do one that says the quotient of 3 and x. The quotient of 3 and x. Again, order matters, not in multiplication, but in division order matters. So since it says 3 first, I write 3 divided by x. I could also write 3 over x. It means the same thing. So take a minute to write these down. These are straightforward, fairly easy. There are a few tricky ones that I want to address in a minute. All right, so now I'm going to give you some language that they use that you have to be a little careful with. For example, 25 subtracted from x. 25 subtracted from x. What would this look like? And is important that you do. Yep. It's x minus 25. So, what you have to underline and remember forever and ever is whenever it says subtracted from, you have to switch the order of these two. So it's not 25 minus x, it's x minus 25. It's important or else you're going to always get it wrong. The other little saying that is the same concept and has the same way to deal with is, do you remember? Less than. So if I said 30 less than, you have to be careful, m, so 30 less than m, you have to be careful, this less than means to switch it up. So it's actually m minus 30. And I think the last one that you have to be super careful with is fewer than. So less than, fewer than, subtracted from. Be careful. I see one here. 6 fewer than x. 6 fewer than x, which gives us the x minus 6. Now, there is one that says more than. Do you think you have to switch the more than?
No.
You don't have to because you're going to get the same answer because adding 2 plus 5 and 5 plus 2 is good. But you should still switch it up when you see the word than, more than, fewer than. Those are the two. Yes?
Can you use it this way of like saying like subtracted by over